Welcome, everyone. God bless you if you're in the house. If you're tuning in, let me know what state you are tuning in from. Today, I have a client and friend I've been working with for years now. It's a couple. And some of you may already know them. They've debuted on the YouTube channel before. And here they are back again. I got Chris and Corinne in the house. How you guys doing?
We're doing okay.
Doing well.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is fun. It's great to have you here yet again. Last time I was in your house, we were recording some content together, and now is more of a check-in, see how you guys are doing, how are you building the business? Because when we recorded that video, you were like just getting started, if I'm not mistaken, right? With the YouTube, like it was just rolling out. And to sort of do a little progress update here for the audience, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it to the whiteboard first, kind of share some data that I pulled off the YouTube channel. So far, you guys are at 129 subs. You've posted 144 public videos. That's a mix of like shorts, long form, and medium to short form videos as well. It's pretty awesome. Over 72,000 views. I'm not able to see your watch hours, but I'm pretty sure you got some good watch hours. You'll be monetized in a short time here. So I'm excited about that. And here we go. Let me share my screen. This is their channel, everyone. They are stepping out on faith, taking action, building it, getting it going, having fun. And it's really cool to see, right? It really
Yeah.
is. This is their website as well. I'm just going to read their mission statement because I think it's really cool to see the commitment that you're putting out there to the public and my audience, which you are my audience. So this is what's really cool is I get to interview a subscriber that then became a client, that then became a friend, that then became a business partner, and now a content creator, and now a collaborator. So we get to just document all that, which is really fun. So mission statement at Divine Stewardship, our mission is to empower individuals and families to achieve financial freedom, peace, and purpose through practical coaching and timeless biblical stewardship principles. We guide our clients to eliminate debt, increase income, protect their future, build lasting legacy, all while honoring values of integrity, service, personal responsibility, faith-based wisdom. We believe money is a tool given by God, not a master. And when managed with clarity and conviction, it becomes a powerful means to provide, give, and grow. Through compassionate coaching and proven strategies, we exist to equip others to steward their resources well, live with intention, and impact generations to come. That is awesome. Love that. And here's just an overview of their website that they've put together. See, we got a little budget tool people can get if they want to. Here, let's see. Take control of your money, eliminate debt, build wealth God's way. So you guys got a 16-week program for individuals and couples. Want to break free from debt, unlock cash flow, create a lasting financial legacy without stress, confusion, or gimmicks. Love the wording, by the way. Really straightforward, clean. So for those of you watching that have been watching my channel for some time, like this couple has been coached by me, and then they loved it so much they said, hey, we want to jump in the ring. and now you guys are in it. So it's pretty cool to be now on that side of things where now you're saying, I want to serve, I've been served, I want to serve. And so people can book a call initially, right? Get on the same page, see if you guys fit. And then we got the different options here. So okay, so for an individual, 3,000. So it's the same program. Is that right?
Yeah, it's more of a lifetime thing. We decided that It's not necessarily just a 16-week program where it ends. It may be a 16-week where
Like that's
we
the
get
commitment.
everything
That's the initial
right.
commitment. We're letting
Exactly.
you
But
know,
you're,
hey,
yeah.
you're going to put 16 weeks into this. Like this isn't no short thing.
Right, and then but it's a pretty much a lifetime coaching thing where you become clients of ours for life, and we guide you through everything because, as you know, nothing is a quick fix. Even 16 weeks isn't long enough really to have long life impactful changes. So it's a really a lifelong commitment, and you know when we signed up with you, although it wasn't necessary, we had the option of doing something, a couple of number of calls. The lifetime option just seemed better because it first of all, we get more value, and plus we have someone to hold us accountable for the rest of our lives. It's just another wise counsel to bounce ideas off of. And the Bible is actually really clear that the more counsel you have, the wiser your decisions will be. So why not have an individual whom we can bounce ideas and plans off of to help make our decision making better?
Nice. And then there's additional things that you provide here as well. So let's say someone's not ready for the bigger program, they can jump on a
Right.
consultation by the hour with a 15 to 30-minute follow-up. So you're paying for an hour, but you're basically getting 90 minutes total for that. And the way I view consultations, I've been doing this for years now. It's a great way to just kind of build a level of trust between the client and yourself. It gives them the opportunity to maybe begin something and then build up to that bigger commitment. So you guys are financial coaches certified. You also have the license and life insurance and health. So you're also doing the whole life. Love it. And the fact that people can get a hold of you. So not only, so you're doing a similar model to myself where you're creating the content and then you're also doing the fulfillment on the back end.
Yeah.
So when people book a call, they actually get one of you or both of you, depends, right? Like people can choose in that sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely, lovely. So talk to me just how this journey has been so far. I know it's not easy. So I think it would be really cool to just share what principles have been working for you being on the servicing side now in the financial services space. What are you seeing when you're working with folks? What's working, what's not working, or I wouldn't say what's not working, but what might be some challenges. So if you can just kind of open that up a little bit, I'm gonna take some notes. I think this will greatly impact those who are watching that haven't yet jumped in. They have a calling, they have a purpose, they have an assignment by God. They're being led by faith, but they still haven't gotten in yet. And I know you guys were those people that were kind of like here, and then you finally took that step, right?
For sure.
So I know it's going to help those people. And then obviously those who are watching that may like my YouTube channel, they may like the content that I put out, but they may resonate with you more. And I'm a fan of, hey, if more people can get served on this channel, the more the merrier. And here you are, an additional resource in this community, Finance Geek community. We have another financial coach that can be of service that you all can reach out to, right? And get served. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So thanks. First of all, thanks for much appreciative having us on today. It's a true blessing, and we thank you for that. Thank you for the opportunity. So as far as the business aspect goes, you're right. We've been coaching for quite some time, but putting ourselves out there, let's say on YouTube or on social media to gain more of a presence or more reach, let's say, really was about 2 months. It's been really just 2 months since we've really established ourselves on the platforms.
Yeah.
The big push has been really just to get as many videos out there as possible. And our style is a bit different. Because again, being the parents, I don't know if you can hear it, but our kids are roughhousing upstairs. And that's
Yeah,
it.
I hear them.
We have three kids, all under the age of 10, and our style has to be conducive to that as well, right? So not
Mhm.
only are we parents of three young kids, but we're trying to now start this business and get our presence out there and so on and so forth. So our style is more of like a conversational, at least right now. Now that may change as we generate more and more content. Actually, it's starting to kind of shift a little bit as well as we speak on our most recent stuff coming up. But at the same time, Corinne, that's how we parent, right? We sit down and we talk about what we're going to do. We talked about our finances. We talked about all decision making. What are we going to do with the kids? What are we going to eat? What are we going to do? That it's a conversation. So I had the idea of making this more of like a podcasting type styled channel where Corinne and I literally sit in front of a microphone, sit in front of a camera, have a particular topic related to finance, related to faith and finance, related to parenting. And then we talk about it, not only our journey, but what are parents like us, or what are parents in general facing? What are their pain points? And what is it that we've done to overcome particular challenges? And how can we relate that and help others in our situation? So I'm pretty much, I think that's pretty much what we've done,
Yeah.
or at least
Yeah.
tried to accomplish.
Yeah. I want people to know that we're not done with our journey yet. We're still very much in it. And where we were almost 10 years ago, I mean, when we met you, was it 7 or 8 years ago
Just
at
about.
this point, that's where we want people to know that we were in exactly what everyone else is experiencing. We've experienced it. We've done it. We've had kids involved. We've had a mortgage involved. We've had all the things.
2 mortgages.
So I feel like when we're able to talk to people about our story, it encourages them that they can do it no matter what their income is at that time or what the season of life that they're in. So I really like that. And I think that more people, the more that they hear about our story, the more that they can relate. It's not just some financial person that they just can't relate to it all.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Another great point. You've got kids in the background. I don't. I think leverage that to your advantage, because where we might think, oh, kids in the back is loud. Oh, I got to edit this again. I encourage you actually to like leave the noise in the background and then actually acknowledge it. Say, oh, those are just my kids, right? Being crazy.
He may
Because
hear it.
when
He may have no choice.
because when you do that, it's like when you do that, the mom that's also listening with 3 kids, 4 kids, not knowing how the heck they're going to do this and manage money and do this, or the dad listening that comes home, and or if it's a dual thing going on, like it will land much harder, more real, really hit the heart than, to your point, another financial guru that might be more experienced, more polished, more whatever. um, they're still not going to be able to connect and maybe provide as much impact. And I think
Right.
that's another unique aspect that you guys bring to the table. It's another reason why I have you here and why I was like, yeah, let's partner up, let's do this, let's make it happen. I'm making you uncomfortable by saying, hey, we're gonna do a live stream. It's gonna go live on the
I'm
channel.
not
Make it
uncomfortable.
happen.
In any
You know,
way.
Chris
Yeah.
might be. I'm fine.
And it's funny
I
that
love it.
you bring that up, because one of the ways that I thought of our channel being utilized was more and more people are gravitating, or at least I know I am gravitating towards YouTube being on TV, not necessarily YouTube TV, but YouTube in the background on their TV. And I know that I also like listening to podcasts. So if I can throw something up on the TV and still do work in the background, such as parents home, let's say mothers at home, or fathers that work from home, or mothers that work from home, parents that work from home, or homeschool their kids, whatever. They can throw us on the TV, either on the podcast app, which we're on Apple and Spotify, or throw us up on YouTube where they can actually see us, actually, see the emotions, see the faces, see the jokes in real time that Corinne and I do with each other on the channel, and just leave it up there, and just for 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it is, and just have listen to us have a conversation about real stuff with money and family. That's kind of how I looked at it, more of like a wholesome type of thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm also enthralled in wanting to get more fancy with editing and stuff like that, but as of right now, it's you guys are getting the basics, and you're getting some raw footage of Corinne and I for sure, especially in the beginning.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you're
that's
gonna
how I
build
envisioned
that.
it.
Yeah, you're gonna build that strong base, those like hardcore fans that are gonna support you from the very beginning. Be sure to, respond to their comments, acknowledge them. To your point about YouTube being on TV, I just looked at my analytics, and it says over the lifespan of my channel,
Mm.
24.4% of my audience are watching on a TV,
Yeah,
which
so that's a
is
quarter. It's almost a quarter.
it's more than a tablet, and it's more than a computer. That's
Yeah.
what's crazy. Like combined computer and tablet audience is less than TV. And then number
Hmm.
one is the phone, right?
Yeah. And that's
Um,
more geared towards shorts. So as you see on even on my channel, one thing that I'm leveraging a ton of right now are shorts. So they're getting, with our long form of 20, 15, 20, 30, 40-minute videos that we have discussions on, I'm generating 16 different short clips that I can put into 30 seconds, a minute, and throw those up there, and people can get a real quick taste of a snippet of a discussion that we're talking about. And that's just analytics, right? And that was something that I'm still learning even now, because this year and every year to come, there's going to be some type of upgrade. There's going to be some type of change. But as long as people understand that the content is there and that the message is there, we just got to kind of find ourselves more. What gets us in front of our audience? And then again, that's just a game that us as content creators now, I guess, would have to pay attention to.
Absolutely. So let's write this out. Let's map this out. So core driver for you right now is you guys are spending a good amount of time creating content to reach a new audience. You also have, and I know you're doing live interactions, so local marketing.
Yeah, yeah,
I know that is a huge aspect. I would argue that's working more as of right now. Content creation is more of a long-term game. Eventually, that'll overtake the work that you do in person, local marketing, networking. So live interaction, say local networking, right? Events, and then good old word of mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your warm market. So you're building on that. And then what I've seen on your channel, and this is something I didn't do till much later on in my channel, and you're doing it immediately, which I think will yield so much dividends later on, is you're interviewing those first clients that
yeah,
that you're working with, that is getting results. So you're documenting their success. Whereas what I would do is I would just make a video anonymously. I still do it to this day. Um, and I have to remind myself to like reach out to those clients that are willing to get in front of the camera and document their story. And all you got to do is ask, right? You might get a couple
yeah,
no's, but I mean, it's truly beneficial. So you got that going, content creation, good amount of time there. Talk to me about this strategy, because I think when it comes to content creation, there's so many people that are just afraid, and there's so much fear around it. It takes people forever to get started. But talk to me about this live interaction, networking events, word of mouth. how are you going about being the couple that was doing or having these careers that your friends, family know you for this, and then all of a sudden, now you're a coach. Now you're talking finance. Now you're talking about a taboo topic, right? Now you're in encouraging them, hey, let's have a hangout and a meet up together and let's talk money. Let's talk legacy. Let's talk, topics that are like, wait, whoa, we know you for Chris and Corinne, not Chris and Corinne, the coaches. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So walk me through that.
Well, I know for me, it's like when I'm with a group of friends or we start talking about just general finances and how our life is going and all the things that we talk about as women in a group. It's when they hear that we're debt free and have no mortgage, they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, no, we've been on our financial journey for a long time. We are working with a coach, a mentor of our own, and that has gotten us, taught us advanced strategies that we didn't really know much about, and we've implemented it. And now we are debt free, and now we want to take what we've done and we want to help other people. So that's like the word of mouth, kind of like when we're just talking in those groups. That's where I get a little bit more interest. I think is knowing that, wow, you're debt free, like then they forget that I was a dental hygienist. They forget that he was nuclear pharmacy. Like it's like, oh, now let's switch those gears. And if we could just get people again to hear the story and to know what we've done and how we've done it and that we're still doing it, that's it. And then the networking groups, like you, Mount Juliet.
Yeah, so we joined a relationship builders group here, and it's good because you get a bunch of people that even are like, financial coaching, why does somebody need that? Well, when I give them the example of a potential client that's come to us that is over $1 million worth of debt, and they look at me and like, over $1 million. I'm like, yes, well, that does include a mortgage, but yes, they're over $1 million. And preliminary numbers show that given our strategy, we can get them debt free in 7 to 10 years. And they look at me like, over $1 million in 7 years. I'm like, yeah.
Someone literally was like, so with your strategies plus OnlyFans. And
Yeah,
we're
yes.
like, no, it's just the strategies.
Right.
It's
It was
just
no
coaching.
OnlyFans,
No
none of that
OnlyFans.
stuff. But yes, just by looking at numbers really rough, we haven't gotten the all the nitty-gritty numbers yet, but even based on the rough numbers, we're looking at potential 7 to 10 years. And yes, it is possible. But we also want to make sure that we stress to them that, it's not easy per se. It still takes hard work and dedication, but that's why you need someone like us who's gone through it, who's done those strategies, who understands and is in within, I wouldn't just say has gone through it. It's one thing to go through something because you could be a really, really good baseball player, but be a terrible coach. It's also the network that is behind that player, right? Because if I have a situation that I'm not familiar with, but I have people behind me or people that I know that do what I do or are in the same industry and have come across that particular type of situation or scenario or similar, I can reach out to them and get a little bit of guidance from them. Same concept of having many wise counsels, right? Having many counsels. It only makes you more wise. It makes you be able to not only make better decisions, but also to offer better decisions. So that's the way I look at it. And, everyone has to start somewhere. This is one thing I was kind of telling Corinne when we first started this journey. And even I believe you and I had this conversation as well. Someone who is the greatest of something still had to do the basis and start somewhere where he wasn't as good, right? The greatest speakers in the world had to get up in front of a group of 5 people and speak before they can get up a group of 1,000 people and speak, right? You had to be willing to do it bad before you are able to do it good. And it's just how we are. With our videos and everything are bad now, but they will get better. But the content in the message is still as good as ever, and it's just as good. But yes, that's something that we've been working on for sure, at least with the local stuff.
Right. So with that, it's like, okay, we're going out between the two of you, whether you're together or separate events, and whatever conversations are happening very organically in a genuine way, you're figuring out how to tell your story in that conversation. And without the listener of the conversation needing to know what your experience is, what knowledge you have,
Right.
you're building trust by sharing your story. Hey, we're debt free.
Hmm.
Uh, we accomplished this. We're working on this. We have a mentor. We have a coach. We took this action, and people gain interest in that story. Builds trust. Trust creates action, and that right there, again, for those that are listening, catching the recording, you're sitting on the sidelines. You're like, I know this is what I was called to do. I don't know how to do it. And if you would just start with storytelling and figuring out how to document that, even if it's quote unquote bad. Because to your point, nothing great initially is, off right off rip, just amazing. Like
Right.
even my content, like I go back every now and then, I look at my old videos. I literally walked onto the video after clicking record, maybe waited a second or two, then said hello, right? And then went into it. Half my head's cut off, and it's crazy. But to this day, some of those videos are my most highest performing videos still to this day. So you're going to have videos that do so well that you're like, why did that do well and not my nice published, polished video, nicely edited? So that'll take you down a rabbit hole. But the fact that you're out there, you're doing it, that's awesome. That's what's going on right now. It's creating action. Talk to me about how you're able to get your clients to agree to get on camera and share their testimony. What's in it for them? From your perspective, what have you seen so far with that?
So there have been thus far maybe just two individuals that have been able to give us a video. So we have one that was a client of ours when we were back in New York. She was able to give us a little bit of a video testimonial, and that's on our website. As for the long interview, that was just more recent that we put up a couple of weeks ago. They were more than happy to do it. They came on early as a client, and they saw it as a blessing because they were just a going to be newly married couple, and they were just not understanding what to do with finances at all. They really didn't have any idea, any clue, and we kind of, I guess you could say, caught them early, and they needed guidance. And they once we did the first couple of things and they saw how quickly they were progressing, and then we said, hey, listen, we're kind of doing this and doing, going to be on video and everything, would you mind being like a testimonial interview for us? And literally was zero hesitation on their side. So just simply just asking, hey, listen, I think you guys are crushing it. The encouragement, the edifying on that we provide them, and not only seeing results, it was like, whatever you guys want, we'll do it. We'll help you out, no problem. Because, I mean, we're super proud of them. We are just absolutely super proud of them, because within 2 months they had already crushed all of their credit card debt that they had. This family loan debt that was just the emotional connection and tie down on that particular debt alone. Again, it wasn't, let's say, what you and I would consider maybe a significant amount, but when there's an emotional piece attached to a particular debt, regardless of the amount, if there's that emotional piece connected to it, having that gone, it completely changes a person's outlook, personality, mindset. And that would, to me, was the biggest factor that played in their success story thus far, because they're just still early in it, but they're seeing such great success, to the point now the goal has changed a little bit. If you guys go and you watch that particular episode, it they even drop a bomb on us, and they tell us that what they're actually gonna be flying in, having the ability of flying in family
Family.
members and paying a portion of their trip so that they can come to the wedding, because they have family out in Washington, literally on the West Coast, and they're having their wedding in Massachusetts, and it's like, wow, to be able to fund at least a portion of that trip for those family members, that's a blessing in disguise, where they didn't even know if they could be able to pay for their wedding in cash, and now be on a trajectory where they're going to be able to not only fund their wedding in full, but fund tickets for others to make it to their wedding. That's just simply phenomenal.
That is super cool. Is it the From Struggle to Crushing It? Is it that video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna copy paste, throw that in the chat real quick. Throw that up on the screen. So here you go, folks. Check out this video here where you can watch interview style, right, of that like they're on camera as well, like,
Yeah,
and
they were at our
you're
house.
going.
We filmed it here.
Yeah, they
That's
were
really
here at the
cool.
house. We actually had double cameras and everything set up,
Super.
so
I
we
know.
were
I
able
saw. I was
to.
watching. I know. I had clicked on it, and I was like, "Oh, get out of town!" He just did that camera
Yeah,
flick. That
as I
was
said,
cool.
we're trying to get better, right? We're trying
I
to grow
love
on
it.
the channel, try all different strategies and whatnot.
Yeah,
We're trying to build it,
that's
brother.
what it's
So,
about. That's
uh,
what it's about.
yeah,
Okay, so here's what I'm getting is after that trust is built through storytelling, through live interaction, the content creation backs up what you guys are doing in real life, which is super cool because then in time you're going to become mini celebrities. And what I've been able to witness over the years is like there's just this level of respect of your time when you interact with followers, subscribers that, end up becoming clients, or you just interact with them in person. Their attention span increases dramatically, their focus increases, and it really puts you in a position to really deliver at the highest level. So prior to that occurring, when you're just interacting with someone that you already know or through a colleague, right, referral, word of mouth, you're starting with stories that don't need experience, wisdom, knowledge, and expertise. It's just, this is from my own experience. People relate, builds trust. You're letting them into your vulnerabilities, where you were, where you are now, how you've overcome certain challenges and obstacles, creates this action that the client is taking that get results. And then you have them join the mission. That's what I'm getting from it. It's like you're having them join in on the fun because you get pleasure when they succeed. They get pleasure, they get joy when a debt gets removed, when they hit a certain target, savings goal, whatever it is. And then you're recognizing that by saying, hey, I want to share that with the next group of people. So now their story validates your story, and it's like your story stacking on your
right.
YouTube channel, vlog style. I love it. That's the loop that I'm seeing that gets created, and now it's just getting in your reps, doing it over and over and over again. And the fact that the content creation part that lives 24/7. So now you have digital versions of you. You have digital copies
Wild. That's wild.
working with no breaks, no time off. Right? I had a client the other day tell me that she watches my videos like 3 o'clock in the morning, like very late at night. I'm like, what are you doing staying up so late? But people have different schedules on how they work, and some people are like, hey, I've got no time throughout the day, and late at night. Like some people are like night owls.
Yeah.
They're like wired, and they're
Yeah.
ready to learn. They're super focused. Or it could be I'm on the East Coast and someone's watching on the West Coast. And so when I go to sleep, they're still up. After they put the
Yep.
kids to sleep, they're on the bed like this and got their book, taking their notes. And it's like, great, that's a digital version of me working for me with no breaks, no overtime. I don't have to pay him anything. And it's feeding you. So that's incredible. That's what that's going to be able to do long term for you guys. Anything you want to add there?
We
Um,
honestly, we just also have surrounded ourselves. We've met so many great people through our church. It's like the friend group that we have. I only see this being one of very many couples who are willing to just whatever they need to do to help us, because that's like the group of people that we've surrounded ourselves with. And our pastor always says, like, surround yourself with people you want to be, because if I look at your friends, I know who you are, kind of a thing. And we really do have a great support system, and that's a big part of it. Like, we've got friends that are like family, which is really, really incredible. So I think there's going to be many, many couples that are willing to jump on there and sing our praises. And even though they're doing all the work, we're just being there to be accountability. I think it makes a difference that we're building those connections and the relationships with these people first. We're friends with these people, and it's nice.
and they're getting the benefit as
Yeah,
well.
they are killing it.
They're building us up, and we're building them up, and just bringing them closer and closer
Mhm.
to peace. Really,
Mhm.
more the sense of security for
Mhm.
sure.
Okay. I want to address a an uncomfortable topic, which is you guys have had secure W-2 income and then took a leap of faith to not continue in that W-2 position and be full-time, grow a business with no guarantee of a paycheck, with, none of your normal benefits of being under a company, corporation, having time off and PTO and sick hours and leave and vacation. None of that exists in the entrepreneur content creation space. It's like all that has to be created in time by you guys eventually. Can you speak to just any, resistance with that, the fear behind it, how you're overcoming that daily, right? How you're pushing past that, because that is probably one of the top 2 to 3 reasons why most are not even starting. I'm a big fan of building, 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 building. And as much as I'm a big fan of building, building, building while having something secure, even I myself, like, I took the leap of faith, went all in without a guarantee of a paycheck and in debt, and figured it out. So as much as I would ideally like for someone to maybe have a year's worth of savings and build the business on the side until it matches or exceeds their W-2 position, so now they have to quit because their business is now making more money, like, that's perfect. Perfect. Love that for certain people that can do that. But looking at your situation, it wasn't like that. So can you speak to, like, just the resistance and what specific principles or routine that you've done and maybe are continuing to do now in this very, very early stage, right? Only 100 plus subscribers, 100 plus videos, these, 70,000 plus views. This is very, very early, right? Couple clients. This is very, very early,
Yeah.
still uncertain. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to do, there's tweaks to be made. So with that being said, can you speak to the resistance, and then if you have been doing some kind of consistent routine principle that is helping you overcome that?
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first in talking about initially. I think the hardest thing for me, with having the kids, and we have very young kids, and that I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past year and a half, 2 years, is the stability of having, or what I thought the stability of having that W-2 job and the health insurance that comes with it and all of those benefits. And at first I was nervous, very, very scared to start this and make this, that's it. Like, can we do this and, have a W-2 at the same time? But ultimately the decision that we came to was, how are we going to put our all into this business if we have a full-time requirement, if someone requires us to be part of their business for 40 hours plus a week? So it's, that was really hard to overcome, but we are putting our trust in something bigger than ourselves, which is something that I had to retrain myself, and using that, our faith, to really like stand firm on the foundation of God is not going to let us down. He is going to lead us in this. We are doing this we are helping people steward their finances in a biblical way. So we have to trust not in ourselves, but trust in Him, that He will provide for us while we are building up this business, and He will provide our needs. And that, yeah, we're going to make some sacrifices in the beginning while it gets built up, but eventually it's going to be big and we're going to serve so many people. And I think that finally just letting go of that control that we think we have over this season of our life, just giving up that control and being like, all right, I got it. It's all you. We're here for the ride. So let's do this. I think it took a month or so for me to just get over that hurdle and that like stability, or what I thought stability was.
Yeah, I'll echo that, and I'll also be real and say it's still a daily uh, reminder. I mean, for anyone who has been a W-2 employee for their entire life, going on your own is very scary. I'm going to be real honest. It really is, and we still live with that, And but Corinne is right, and when she says that we're putting our faith into something that's bigger than us, we all have to understand that nothing comes from us; it all comes from God. That's number one. So that we give thanks in everything that we receive, and at the same time, in putting that trust, we have to also understand that we don't know the final plan. We're doing this journey because, number one, we felt that we have this calling because we did accomplish something that not a lot of people accomplish, even in their older age, right? There are still people in their 80s that still are paying a mortgage or paying off debt, whatever. We did it before the age of 40, right? I mean, in today's age, that is not necessarily heard of. It's not common at all. And even within the last couple of days, our president, whatever you may think of him, has pitched an idea of 50-year mortgage, of which I only shake my head at. But at the same time, I don't know what the Lord has for us. I can only hope that He guides us in a way that we are able to serve a greater number of people, achieve more in their lives. And as a result, He will take care of us. Prosperity and wealth in the Bible is not necessarily money. It's peace, calmness, and one with Him. So as long as we're able to get by and do what we need to do, I mean, we're all debt free. So all that's left is just living expenses and taxes and whatnot. But as long as we're able to cover that, at least in the time being, we'll be fine. But there's that literally leap of faith, and you give everything to Him, and just Corinne and I, every once in a while, we say, "Hey, listen, God, if I got your ear for a second, if you wouldn't mind just drawing the curtain a little bit, just letting us see what you have for us in store behind the curtain." Just drawing it back a little so we could take a little bit of a peek, just a little bit. We'd be okay with just a little. But yeah, no, joking aside, but seriously, it's something that you struggle with at first. And every day you just continue to put forth, and I think of everyone that we can help. That's what I think about. Mm-hmm. It's one of those, well, what is it? We often come up with and say, well, what do we need to talk about? Well, what is it that people out there need to know, right? What is it that we didn't know that now we do know? And it's one of those things that I am driven to help. I want to help people, as many people as possible. So yeah, we struggle with it every day. There is that resistance no matter what. But at the same time, we know that we have our faith in something bigger. We know that even if this path has its ups and downs, it's one that we know that God won't desert us, and He will guide us in the right. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and all that you do, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. So we try to live that every day.
I love it. I love it. So what I got from that is mainly faith over fear, prayer, accountability is extremely important. And you have that accountability with not only me, but even people like Sebastian. So shout out to the approved guy who just commented. It says, love you guys. All three of you are amazing people. Hearts of gold, God's people doing God's work. So
Shout out, love
another,
Him.
yeah, another big like underrated value when you do go off on your own is to not be alone. So there's a lot of folks that are like, all right, I'm gonna go do this, go build this business on my own. Don't do that. Get a coach, get a mentor, get a community, find people who are 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of you, not 50 steps, because then they don't really have much time for you. But if you can get someone who's like 2, 3, 4, 5-ish steps ahead of you, they're able to remember where they were in their early journey and can provide that insight for you to say, oh yeah, don't do it like that, or consider this instead, or maybe do this, do it like this, try this instead, see if that works. And that is huge, having that people group that also went on their own. So you also have to be careful what kind of advice you're getting your advice from. So
Right,
ideally, those of you that are watching that are W2, you do not want to get your advice from a current W2 individual that's never ran a business, let alone created income on their own from their own, products and services that they create or they sell and provide, that have to, educate, prospect, close, follow up. Like
right,
that's a completely different model from the W2 employee mindset. So having that awareness, okay, I'm going to get my advice from someone who's actually doing it in the space that I want to become a master in. You've got Sebastian, proof guy, and you got myself, and then whoever else you may have in your corner that you also are growing with. And then the other thing that I'm witnessing in real time, and we'll be able to document the results from this, but having you consistently show up on this channel as a resource, saying, hey, I'm available, I can work, I can coach you, I can help you, and just keep showing up over and over again. Now you're leveraging somebody else's platform, somebody else's viewership by adding value with the services you already know and provide. So
right.
that's going to be another huge, like, we're going to be able to see what results come of it. We only have, this is our second video, and what I've been able to witness, I'll give the approved guy a shout out again. Like, he's an example. He probably has the numbers. He could probably pull it up. The amount of clients he's been able to acquire from this channel alone, just from me saying, call Sebastian. Like, here's a referral. He can do that. Yep, he can do that. He knows that. Talk to him. Boom. And knowing that there's so much business to go around when you go off on your own, there's so much business to go around that sometimes it feels like there's no business. It sounds weird, like that doesn't make sense what I just said, but I think for those that are listening that are already business owners, I know Sebastian will agree with that there's so much to go around that it seems like it's unattainable. And the more you narrow on who it is you want to serve, and that's what I want to go into now, is who have you desired to work with, and compared to who you've been serving so far, are those two the same, or are you seeing a little bit of a difference in who you guys desire to work with, like ideal client? I want to work with boom, boom, boom type of client versus who you're serving as of right now, who you may be prospecting and talking to, who's actually reaching out. Is it very, very similar, or is there some differences? Love to get an idea about that.
Yeah. So from my point of view, I think we're serving the the people that we're ideally going after in some respect. The age group I would say that we're in is those who are either, well, I would say for us it would be where we started, right? We were in a house, we had kids, and we were making at the time decent income, and it was like, but something's missing. Like we should not be dipping into savings every other month or every other week to pay a bill and not get anywhere ahead. Like I feel like we're on the hamster wheel. And for the most part, I think we're starting to attract more and more. Although I will say we tend to have more interest at the moment from people that are just starting their journey.
Mhm.
Like for example, our clients, Terrell and Michaela. Again, shout out to them for their success. Um, they're very young. We have another couple that may be interested in working with us, and they're very young in their journey.
Mhm.
We have another client that may be coming on. We had a call this week where they have a blended family and they're interested in doing something. So we're seeing a large variety, but still within what I would still consider our ideal clients, where they have a family or they're just starting a family. Um, they're in a house. They're looking to maybe different changes on how to manage their money and so on and so forth. I mean, I think that's where I've seen our clients right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with all that. I wanted to target the people who they they've grown in their careers so much so they have the income to put into coaching. They make the income, they just don't know how to manage it. So I was thinking more like 35 to 45, they've got the kids, they're not babies, but they've got the kids, they've got the house, they have equity in their home, been in their home for quite some time. And then now that I'm seeing who's more gravitating towards us, it's like Chris said, the ones who are like just starting out, they have the house maybe for a few years, maybe under a decade, and they've got the young kids, and they just feel like the hamster on the wheel. They're working and they're working and they're working and they're paying their bills and they're getting by, but that's it.
That's very
That's where it
interesting. That's very
yeah.
interesting. What age are, actual clients, and then people you're prospecting, people you're talking with, people who are interested? What age range are you seeing
So
for
right
that?
now, actual clients are definitely they're under 30. They're under 30, and the ones that we're prospecting, they are more in the uh, early 30s to early 40 range. There is
Gotcha.
a particular couple that definitely wants to work with us that is in their 50s, which is a blessing. The fact that they put so much trust in us, I am so
Hmm.
appreciative of that. But they have definitely reached out and said that they want to work with us, and we're going to be scheduling something next week. But
Nice.
yeah, that for prospecting wise, really hot prospecting wise, I would say they're in their 30s and 40s, and early clients are really in
Yeah.
their early in their 20s, mid 20s, and they're the ones that I feel most excited for because man, oh man,
Mhm.
so much potential, so much time. And if they get this down now and they can get everything down packed now, man, oh man, the sky is the limits for them. And I would, if we could get more of the younger generation, I say younger, 20 years younger than me, if we can get them early, I mean, think about it, Denzel. You're just about to hit 30. And if let's say your mom, who was your main drive for a lot of this, had she known in her 20s how to do what we do now,
Oh man.
How much different would your life be? How much different would her life be? And that's what I think about.
Be
And if I can,
millionaires.
I mean, it's amazing. And you know what it is? I think of this a lot because, Hosea, the book of Hosea 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge." And that's all it is. It's lack of knowledge. So, us as creators, I think of that all the time. I almost have a duty, a responsibility to at least talk about it. Now, whether people do it or not, that's on them. But I have a responsibility to show people and to at least tell them about these differences. Think about that. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. It's amazing. I almost, it's almost like a purpose. Each one of us have a purpose in showing someone that doesn't know something that they are aware of. It's our duty to do so.
Yeah. And what I just got from that was redeeming back the time when someone is equipped with that wisdom and knowledge, they begin to buy back their time that they lost. So even
Yeah.
though my mom started super late in her journey, which then caused, say, for me to be at a disadvantage, just from acquiring the knowledge and information, having faith over fear, praying, getting in the word, having that spiritual accountability and also physical accountability with another human being or a group of people. It's crazy the amount of time you buy back. I think very early on in my entrepreneur journey, I was at an event listening to a person speak, and I don't remember the person exactly, but I remember it after this one person spoke it. It's like I kept hearing it over and over again, and it was the concept of using your money to buy back your time via certain type of expenses that you have, and recognizing the value of that time restored. And what made me remember it recently is I have a friend that every now and then I give him my car where he can go run an errand or go do a gig, do a job, cool, and then brings it back, never an issue. He texts me and he's like, "Hey, um, can I borrow the car?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Orlando." So from where I live, it's like a 3.5, 4 hour drive or whatever. And he's like, "Should I take SunPass, the tolls?" Um, I'm thinking I don't really have to. I can just get there when I get there. Now, a good buddy of mine who's a business owner, makes millions of dollars, told him, he said, "You value your money more than your time in that specific transaction. You're willing to lose, say, an hour not being in the Sun Pass or the HOV lane to get to your destination so you can, whether it's get there early or be able to unwind, be able to strategize, have a clear mind, and go deliver a high value." He texts me and then he's like, "Am I being like, am I having a poor mindset in this particular, isolated event? Am I thinking incorrectly about this? I'm praying over it. I'm like, it's not a big deal." And then I broke it down to a smaller scale in my own life. And I was like, short answer, yes. That's poor mindset, but I don't want to just like drop that on you. Rather, I'm going to give you an example in my own life.
Hmm.
I pay a landscaper to mow my grass. I pay $175 a month. He comes 2 to 3 times a month, like clockwork, does the work. And kid you not, if I was responsible for cutting my grass, which I don't know how to do, I would have to learn first, get educated, watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to cut grass, watch a bunch of videos on what products to buy. So now I have to spend money to buy the tools, get the right tools, learn how to use the tools, buy something to store the tools at, maintain the tools. So buy things to clean the tool, maintain the tools, Then finally cut the damn grass. Probably do it wrong the first 50 times. Not know when to cut the grass, might cut too much grass. Now I got dead patches. I kid you not, I believe I was calculating it because I would go off the amount of time he's out there, the expert. And what I would do is I said, okay, if he's out there for under 45 minutes, he cuts front, side, back. I got a lot of grass space on my property. So if he's done in 45 hour tops, it probably would take me 4 hours, at least triple, because I would do it in sections, right? Like that's how my mind would work. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the front. And once I'm done, all right, take a break, bam, 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 come back, take a drink of water, maybe jump on a call. Okay, come back, boom, do the sides. But the whole day is shot. So it might take me 4 to 5 hours times 2 to 3, maybe 4 times a month. I say minimal 10 plus hours a month, but more so 20 hours I would be willing to bet that I've purchased back into my life. And people that are paying me $300 an hour, how many consultations can I do with 20 more hours back in my life?
Mhm.
When I discovered that, it was a game changer for me. I began to look at certain types of expenses in my life as time, I would put like a time clock next to the expense and say for every $50 I spend, I get 3 hours. For every $100 here, I get 2 hours. Like boom, 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 compounding over and over and over again. It's insane. Like that was such a big breakthrough for me. And to this day, I still do that.
Mhm.
And then obviously the bigger the expense is, the bigger the time you're most likely, recovering back in your life. So that's huge. So redeeming back the time is insane. Then here's another cool thing. You mentioned that the people you're serving right now and the people that are most interested in working with you, and you even said it yourself, it's like you're kind of like this weird excitement is those that are under 30, or whether they're between 30 and 40, they're technically brand new in their like they're just officially getting started off.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at my analytics, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. This is lifetime stats. So I've got an audience base between 18 and 34. So I'll just use these two columns. 1.5% are between 18 and 24 years old, 16.2% between 25 and 34 years old. I would say upwards of 80% or more of my client base, paying clients, are actually over in this category, the 34 to 44, the 45 to 54, the 55 to 64, and 65 plus.
Mhm.
Really more so the last three percentages. So even though I have a large 35 to 44 audience base, most of my clients are already with grown kids, 45 plus, 50 and older, a little more advanced to your point. They're, they've been through some stuff. They've gotten to the point like, I am done Denzel being in debt. I'm just over it, and they're
Right.
ready to go. In a weird way, I actually don't typically connect as well to people around my age. I often have to remind myself I gotta like backtrack. I gotta like really start from square one before even one. I gotta go to zero. I gotta go before zero to really start to work with a young 25-year-old, 23 years old that has not put in the type of time that I have. It's nothing against
Right.
them. It's nothing against me. It's just, oh, there might be someone who's better suited. I know I'm not going to serve every single person on my YouTube channel, even though I may have those people that watch and they're
Right.
entertained, they're getting the value. But when it comes to the accountability and coaching, here's an opportunity for you to capture that 1.5% and that 16.2% of folks that are watching that are like, you know what? Maybe that couple's more for me. So the person that is between the ages of 18 to 34, not that I'm pushing them away from me, but what I've learned is like I just do really well with certain kinds of clients that have really been around the block in life. They've got a story, they've got like some deep stuff they went through, some trauma going on, and somehow with my kind of just smooth monotone level that I operate from, they're able to just come down. I reduce the temperature, give them the strategy, hold them accountable. They get the results. They're off to the
Right.
races. When I work with my younger clients, sometimes I forget. I got to check in on them. I got to like remind them. I have to see if they're about to buy Bitcoin or if they're about to make a move and then tell me about it later. Like, whoa. So I usually don't get that from my
Yeah.
50 and 60-year-old clients. They're
Yeah.
like, Denzel, I have this money I just got. I've been waiting 2 weeks to get on a call with you. I haven't done anything. I need your guidance. So I have
Yeah.
those kinds of clients versus like others that will just like make a move, then tell me about it, then they're regretting it because it's like I should have called you. I'm like, yeah, that's what you paid me for. Uh, just tell
Yeah.
me the aftermath. So really, really powerful stuff there. I think that's a great way for when you're thinking about what topics to talk about. And this just kind of goes into like a segment on this channel where you can provide content speaking to that audience that I have
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, think
and
about it. I mean,
leverage
even
that.
right now, my kids are interrupting as we speak, and they're jumping
Yeah.
up and having
We reached the limit. We
a
got to an hour. I'll take it.
so it's just one of those things. Like, hey, listen, this is what you're, and I like to say, I like where you're going with that, because I view it as like there's like two ends of the spectrum, and there's the different mindset that each group has. So your clientele that you're seeing more of your clients, and again, paying clients, are at that stage where it's like, yes, I'm done with this. Like, they're like, I've got this weight on my back that I just want gone. Right. And those are the individuals that, or couples that are like, okay, we have a certain amount of capital that we can invest in getting rid of this, right? So they've already either, I don't want to say mistakes, but they've had their life experiences that are putting them in a situation where they're like, okay, I'm done with whatever this rat race is. On the flip side, I kind of want to be more on, not that I want to be, but it's I don't want individuals or couples to get to that stage. So I want them to make the investment now. Put the small amount of dollars up now, because I don't want their money to devalue as they get older, right? And then have to pay, let's say, shell out more money for what they could have paid in dollar amounts now, so they can only accelerate down the road, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. You're really trying to capture, and again, 17% of almost 18% of my audience is watching my content for the first time, hanging around long enough to be recognized by the analytics
Right.
over this period. And then wherever they end up, because they're definitely not becoming clients, right? Again, like I said, most of my clients are much older and they're more seasoned in their weight that they're carrying, and they're ready to get rid of it. And I tend to thrive with that crowd, whereas you're thriving with this desire to want to catch them before they get into my lane,
Yeah.
right? And that's beautiful, because then that sets up the next generation, that current
Right.
generation, for success. And then I'm able to capture the generation that didn't take the time, that has lost the time, and I'm encouraging them to buy back their time, save the money, get out of debt,
Yeah.
invest, save, to improve the next generation that they leave behind. Because if they started this late, chances are their kids are going to start typically just as late, and I might be able to capture them. And if they see someone like you it's like a dual thing that's going on. It's like you're serving a segment of my audience and I'm serving a segment of my audience. And the encouragement here is there's still more room.
For
Like
sure.
that's the encouragement here is like even that like I don't know what 17-18% equates to, but if I look at the amount of views that this channel has gotten, the amount of subscribers, I mean, we're talking over 5+ million views and 60,000 plus subscribers. I mean, if I just do this year, 2025. Yeah, so let me see, let me update it. 2025, I actually have 6.4%. So what's happened over the years is I lose that crowd. That's what my
Hmm.
analytics is telling me is
Hmm.
I lose the 18 to 24 crowd, the 25 to 34. 2025 alone, I've got 6.4% that are between the ages of 25 34, 0% of 2025 that are between 18 to 24 years old. So somewhere along the line, I lost them
Yeah.
for whatever reason, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Yet my 45 to 54 and my 55 to 64 increased, right? It's like
Yeah.
36, almost 40%, and then 25 and my 65 plus is still hanging in there, right? So they're
Yeah.
still still pretty strong.
And that makes sense because if you think about it, what happens towards the end of the year, right? You're looking at holiday season. Those who aren't necessarily as established, they're focused on maybe they have seasonal work, so they're working maybe a little bit more, or they're just more about hanging out and actually having life experiences, and they're not necessarily thinking too much of the future. Whereas those who have done their seasons and had many holidays behind them, they're still main focused on maybe they've got all this debt and now holidays are coming up and they know they have to dish out more, they're purchasing more, or they're just really focused and have a goal and they want to know how to get out of whatever trouble they're in, if it is trouble, whatever it is. It makes sense because again, different seasons, different years throughout your life, you have a different outlook on things. You just have a different set of eyes. It's you can't get away from that, and it all depends on who you're around as well. Like you're younger, but you're around those individuals, around those people who have been entrepreneurs. Corinne and I have not. The only individual that was an entrepreneur was my father, and I think that's where I may get that from. But he was a physician, and it's a different type of entrepreneur. He was a very highly desired entrepreneur in the sense that his profession provided him with a countless number of people that are going to come to him. So he didn't even really have to do that much advertisement. He just said, "Hey, I'm a doctor, and there's my office," and people just kind of came to him. Now he had to do his due diligence in order to maintain them, but still, it's a different type of mindset where coming from our end, money, and this, money is a very personal topic to discuss, and not a lot of people are willing or freely willing to discuss that with someone they don't know. And even as we've discussed on our podcast and our own episodes, even with their own spouse. And it's truly a a sad problem because as we discuss in our episode where we talk about this, if I can't talk with her regarding money, the woman that I married, the woman that I love, whom I've made a vow, a covenant to say that I'm with you till death, if I can't talk to her about money, I mean, what else? There's so many other more important things. That's so low, as I mentioned, low on the totem pole. But it's it's the number one cause of fights and divorce is money issues. And
Yeah,
that's why
it's worse than cheating, like on paper, like
it's
on
unbelievable.
statistically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And again, it's a topic that we should not have an issue discussing. But I think the problem root roots from not knowing where the source comes from, right? And again, that
Mm-hmm.
comes from God. Everything comes from the Lord, and then we have to give thanks to that. If we acknowledge that first and understand that we're in a covenant together, I think the mindset and I think the conversation starts to shift a little bit, and that's why I'm excited, at least with our earlier and younger clients, because if they get that down first
Oh
and
yeah,
they get
game
that
changer.
understanding first,
Yeah,
it's an
game changer.
enlightening process. It's such an enlightening
I know.
process.
Hmm. I love it. Yep. So two more things. I want to hear you guys' income goals, right? What do you guys want this business to produce for you guys on a monthly basis? What's a target that you have in mind? And then how many clients, how many people would you like to serve, right? And you can give us a little time frame on that so that we
Mm.
can make some declarations here, and then we'll do content throughout that period. And then once we hit that timeline, we get to go back and say, did we hit it? How close? How far off? Did we surpass it? I love doing that. It's another level of accountability. And then we'll go into one more thing and we'll close out, right? Because I know those kids, they're gonna come back any minute.
I think Corinne's actually locked the door. So if anything, you hear like banging on the door,
Yeah, I've got
that's
Bible school. I'm out of here. This is all his problem when I
yeah.
leave.
Yeah. So I'm on my own after she's got class. So I guess realistically, it's going to be a scale. Obviously,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't want to be jumping out of the gate. But I think for now, I'd say in the next 3 to 6 months maybe, if we could generate a number of 5K a month,
Mhm.
I think that would be good and a good start. Ultimately, I would say in 1 to 3 years, I'd like to see the income, monthly income, grow anywhere from 10 to 30. I know that's kind of a broad range, but again, a time frame of 1 to 3 years. If I had to break that down to maybe a year from today, I'd like to see it at 15 per month. Um, and as far as clients, man, I think we could handle, anywhere from 10 to 30 clients at this point, at this given juncture right now.
Per month?
Could we do the per month at this point? Yeah, I think we could do 10, definitely 15 clients per month we could handle at this
Yeah.
point.
So let's say I got 15 clients this month. Next month, can I take on another 15?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we
In
could.
that kind of rhythm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in
Gotcha.
that kind of so one thing that we didn't discuss, you kind of touched on it, but we didn't go deep down into it, was scheduling. So
Right.
we were able, one of the things that you learn as an entrepreneur is you got to have a schedule, because in the corporate world where I came from, and where Corinne came from, not necessarily corporate world, but more of a clinical world, everything is on a time. Like everything is scheduled. And what I've learned is that, and what I've heard from other entrepreneurs is that if you drop that off, you start to go and spiral, because now you're all over the place. So I've set up a schedule where we do, at least we know we're going to film at least on one day. Now, does that change? Does it throw things off at times? Obviously, because we have kids, so life does happen. But we have it down in our calendar that, on Thursdays, like today, is a day where we're doing content. Today we did 3 videos of content, and we have the live cast. So our day was video, editing, and now this, and then we do the scheduling, and that's how we run things. And then I'm doing research, we're discussing topics to do. So that's how we have to do things. You have to schedule. So yes, to answer the question, 15 and 15, yes, because I have time allotted where I know I can put those clients, and I know that I can dedicate that time to those clients. That's the point.
Gotcha. So I'm going to put our numbers out here so we can say what our potential projections are just from coaching, All right, this is just from coaching because you do have other um, products that can add to the value of one client. So you can have one coaching client that maybe buys a consultation, then jumps to a lifetime program, then gets a whole life policy, then gets their wife a whole life policy, then gets their kids a whole life. So there's
Yeah.
a tiered approach to this, but just looking at the services off the website, 5K service, 3K service, and then 250 an hour, 5K times 15, 75,000. So there's a real possibility based off of the service, the value that we're creating, that we can make as little as 3750 a month or as high as 75,000, obviously depending on how someone pays. Maybe they pay you out in increments or all at
Right.
once. It varies, but we've got this range. So if our goal is 5K, we're more than within that range to get there. It only takes a smaller percentage of 15 to get to the 5K per month. So that's very reasonable, 3 to 6 months. I think that's very possible. And then within 1 to 3 years, 10 to 30K, also within reason, just by considering these price points alone. That's very healthy because sometimes when I do this to some of my clients that want to build a coaching business, they'll have an offer, they set an income goal, and I'm like, mathematically, it's impossible to get to where you want to get to because you've created a product, you've created a service that isn't in alignment with your actual income goal. You're going to be upset, you're going to quit. So we have to change one of the two. Either you increase the price of your service that you're providing, or you decrease your expectation of an income goal to match what it is you're actually, want to be, creating. So the fact that we just did that hot seat style right away, boom, it's there, the possibilities there. And there's these other add-on services that you can create income that is significant in and of itself,
Yeah.
which is extremely valuable. So that's great. Last thing I want to do here, and we'll go and finish our evening, is just to give people a little bit of a insight on what we're planning together. So, can you speak to your background in the fitness space? Because I have a desire, and I think this will add so much value to my channel and those that are wanting to not only improve their finances, but it does bleed into other areas. Like when you get your money right, your relationship improves in certain departments. You unlock cash flow, you start to think, well, where can I dedicate this cash flow? Well, maybe I'll put it into my health. Maybe I'll start buying supplements. Maybe I'll start seeing a doctor outside of insurance. Maybe I'll go into biohacking and go to a chiropractor, and you start adding on services. Maybe I'm going to get that gym membership and go with the higher tier option and hire a trainer. And you're having this excess to flow back into you. I know I've been in the journey now for about a year, 2 years of improving my health, and now I'm putting it even more to the test by saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to incorporate fitness into my content creation. And whether that's, once, twice a month, and then eventually building it up to having a whole segment and thing there. So can you speak to just kind of your background, your passion in fitness, and give a little insight, a little, based on what we've talked about off camera, what you'd like to do on this channel with me?
Yeah, so this was an interesting concept that we you discussed about and we talked about. So I have a passion for nutrition and fitness. I consider myself an amateur bodybuilder. I've competed in a bodybuilding show. I also became a certified nutritional coach, and I have coached others in weight loss. Matter of fact, one of our potential warm market clients for financial services was a client of mine, and I helped her lose close to 70, 80 pounds,
I think
something.
she's actually close to 90 to 100 pounds at this point.
Okay, so yeah, so 90 to 100 pounds. And she was, she's been it's been a journey for her for sure. But again, through coaching and whatnot, I was able to help her get from a very unhealthy level of weight to a much, much more healthy level weight wise. So what we had discussed was you're on this particular journey of yours, and we discussed maybe having segments where we're talking finance while I'm pushing you or showing you how to do a fitness routine, how to do an exercise routine, and talking fitness as you work out, and still being your accountability partner as we're doing the workout together or filming. So it's an interesting concept because it you mentioned it just before. Your health and wealth are very closely related, extremely close related, more so than what people may think. And the design of having them intertwined is very unique, and no one, I don't think, has actually done that. Most of the time they're talking more about fitness and not necessarily money, but it's they're so closely related because the more money you have, the more money you're going to spend on your health. Generally, some people don't, but it's a shame. But at the same time, if you have a goal of bettering yourself, it makes sense to intertwine the two. So that was, and I was pitching it to Corinne, and she was like, it was an interesting concept. She's like, I don't know how that's going to work. I'm like, I don't know either, but
I'm interested to see how it's going to
but
work.
it's an interesting concept. Let's take a
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, hey, it was an idea that came into my mind, and it's a challenge for me because now, okay, I'm showing an audience like a different part of me,
Yeah.
health wise. They're gonna see what I can lift, what I can't lift, what I can do, what I'm, maybe not as good or efficient in. I'm gonna be like in a different kind of a state, and now I'm yielding to an authority
Right.
over a different topic, you being the authority, you being the one with the credibility. And I think that's just going to build so much trust in the community when people reach out to you. I think that's going to be a huge value add. The fact that, oh, this guy also knows this, and fine, boom, now you're serving again a certain segment that I never would have been able to attract or keep, right? As I mentioned earlier, my analytics, like I'll have a certain audience base. Over time, I lose that audience base simply because I'm not speaking their language, and that's totally fine. But if I can keep them by leveraging you in a sense, and then even other people along the way in this journey, then that's going to be like I can just see a compounded value and impact occurring because it's like, okay, the audience gets served or entertained. You're being served. Your cup is being filled. My cup is being filled. I'm working out. I'm talking finance. I'm creating content. You're creating content.
Yeah.
So I can just see like so much time is being saved because I have no problem creating content. I have no issue at all.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I have an issue staying on a consistent exercise schedule. So I'm like, you know what?
Meant to
I'm
that.
just gonna incorporate it into my content. Now there's no excuse. There's a big reason why I always stand in a lot of my videos because most of my day I'm sitting doing my coaching calls. So I'm like, part of my whole, like, even before in the very early on, I was like, I need to stand because I used to work in food and beverage, standing on my feet 8, 10, 12-hour shifts, to then sitting down 8 to 10 hours a day is a drastic change. So if I can stand 2, 3, 4 hours creating content, I like that because it challenges the body and keeps me healthy. And as the approved guy says, you know, fitness plus finance equals wealth. I'm there. I want to embody that part of my life, the health part. So bringing it together, and guess what? I don't have to be the expert. I can just leverage someone who's taken that time, and they can just give me marching orders. And I'm the type of person that receives orders pretty well. Like I'm a pretty good soldier for the most part. I usually don't disobey. Um, and I'm a pretty good employee for the most part. And so I like to get my marching orders, tell me what to do right here, right now. Don't tell me to do something and then like believe I'll do it. That's where I do mess up, is if I'm given an order, get that done in a week, like an hour
Yeah.
before. It's like, for some
Yep.
reason, I've always been so resistant with homework. And that probably comes from like school or something. I don't know. There's probably trauma there. Who knows? But being being accountable in the moment, right then and now. All right, you're gonna do this. Boom. Have fun with it. That's where it becomes part of my lifestyle. And now I don't have to like think to be healthy. It's like I embody health. I embody
Right.
wealth. I don't have to think to be wealthy because I embody wealth. I embody finance.
Yep.
And that's what we want to do for our clients. All right. So with that
Sure.
being said, we'll close out here. Thank you so much hanging out with me. And I'll release you now back to the children, put them down for the
Yeah.
night.
We'll
And
feed
anything
with
else you'd like to
standing out
share?
there.
Anything else you'd like to share before we go out?
Anything you want to say?
No, just thank you for having us on. We appreciate you.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, and we love you guys. We love you, and we
Appreciate
love
that.
the community for sure.
Awesome. Those of you that are still with us live, the link to check out their YouTube channel and the work that they're doing, and put that on the screen again. And you can visit their website, jump on some coaching if you'd like to work with them directly, and have some fun. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Till next time, enjoy the rest of your
Absolutely.
evening. God bless, and we'll be talking soon. Bye now.
Thank
Take
you.
care.